How it can come to a conflict and tracks. I was a witness myself. A young couple visited us. They became attentive about the book, The Lucrative Lies of Science. The author dedicated this book to Dr.Hamer in the Pilhar family. And this couple visited us quite spontaneously. He wanted to accompany me on a lecture tour. So, I took him with me once. We were on the road together for a week. He is left-handed and has had a thickening on the right testicle since he was 7 years old. And often he had a sharp pain from the testicle to the brain. This is how he described it. He tried to convince me that it must have been a lost conflict about his father. The testicle is a lost conflict. At that time, he thought his father had died in an accident. But you can chop that off right away. He is left-handed, his right testicle is the mother-child testicle. He did not have children at 7, so only the mother comes into question, but not the father. So with the mother, you have to look. But to the mother, he could not think of anything. Therefore, possibly about an animal that he loves like a child, and if that dies or is injured, the child can react with testicular cancer. But he never had animals, and he couldn't think of anything about the mother. And he had with him the Golden Book of Dr.Hamer, in which the first case with a testicular cyst is described with the following words. He has a testicle like an ostrich egg. That was his panic. He was a hypochondriac. He was always afraid he would get a testicle like that. That was a terrible idea for him. We were on the road together for a week, and we certainly tried to find the conflict every day, and we didn't find it. So he listened to my introductory lecture, and he took the entire seminar. And on the way back from Leipzig to Salzburg, he really wanted to replace me driving. But I have this principle, you don't borrow cars and women. That was our luck. Fortunately, I didn't let him drive. He recalls his conflict in the middle of the highway. While lying in bed at 7, and he hears the parents talking. The mother says to the father, "I'm going to kill myself." It was about the sister, who is severely handicapped. And the mother ran from Pontius to Pilate, and nobody could help her. Completely overwhelmed, she says to her husband, "I'm going to kill myself." The boy has heard this. He sits next to me in the passenger seat, tells his conflict and was shocked that he experienced something like that. And the next moment he gets an epileptic seizure. But so very strange. Put his butt into the seat, head back into the backrest, forward into the dashboard, back into the backrest. Arms still, legs still, only with the pelvic muscles, back and forth. I put my hand on his shoulder and brake the car. It took a quarter of an hour until he was responsive again, and he was well trained. 22 years old, and had never had an epileptic seizure. When we arrived at the hotel in Salzburg, he went straight to bed. The following day, he told me he had peed 5 times during the night, the peeing phase. After that, I heard nothing from him for years. Then I was told through third parties, that I don't hear from him because whenever he sees Pilhar, he has an epileptic seizure. So what happened there? He was panicked to get such a testicular cyst, and he had already not believed that such a loss should have happened to him. And suddenly, he finds this highly acute conflict, the cause with himself. Isolative and caught on the wrong foot. And he was shocked. He wanted to protect his testicle, that's why the pelvic muscles. Not the arms, not the legs, and protect from the Pilhar, because by the story with the Pilhar, he can get the testicular cyst. That's why the Pilhar was in his head, and the track Pilhar now belongs to these motor conflicts. And the conflict is not resolved until it can't happen anymore, or until he can laugh about it. But as long as he can't laugh about it, this early warning system remains. And so he avoids me. I can live with this. So, and now there is the phenomenon that an allergy becomes more and more. Now you are also allergic to this or that. And this also has a simple mechanism. The baby is lying in the crib, and the cat unintentionally jumps into the child's face. The child suffers a scare-fright conflict with asthma, highly acute, isolative and caught on the wrong foot, with the track cat hair. From now on, the child reacts asthmatically to cat hair. Asthma is a crisis, but this always comes afterward. Then one day, the child is in a room with a dog, and the child is excited, Boa, the dog. The child is totally excited about the dog. The child's brain is now entirely occupied with the dog, and suddenly a cat runs around the corner. Through the cat, the Hummer focus instantly occurs and stores the dog's hair as well. Now the child reacts asthmatically to cat and dog. And sometimes, the child is in a stable with a horse, and the child, Boa, a horse, has only the horse in the head, and there runs a dog around the corner. He gets the Hummer focus through the dog, which stores horsehair and reacts immediately against the cat, dog and horse allergic, with asthma. Although the horse was programmed only 5 years later, this horse track points to the conflict with the cat, from 5 years ago. Here we speak of the extension track. And now a beautiful case, with an extension track from Hamer, and also the wise advice for the biological solution, that is the royal art in Germanische Heilkunde.
Germanische Heilkunde is considered the greatest discovery in the history of humanity, by those people who have understood its underlying principle. While classical medicine is based on more than 5,000 hypotheses, the Germanische Heilkunde can be considered as the only medicine, which is scientifically verifiable. With Germanische Heilkunde, for the first time in the history of humanity as we know it, there is a medicine with which any patient case can be reproduced in a strictly scientific manner. More than 30 different universities have already confirmed this in the past. Nevertheless, the discovery of Dr. Hamer has been suppressed and denigrated for over 30 years. Take your health into your own hands, and learn about Germanische Heilkunde, while you are still healthy. Helmut Pilhar, one of 3 lecturers, officially appointed by Dr. Hamer for Germanische Heilkunde, offers you an extensive and complete seminar collection for this purpose, which is now also to be translated into the English language. This knowledge will change your view of conventional medicine, forever. You can find a direct link to Helmut Pilhar's seminar videos in the description, below this video.